What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Hurry Up. I'm your host, Adam. Let's get into it. So, New York Giants had their press conference today with Joe Shane, and a few things to take away. Really enjoyed the press conference. It wasn't a rah rah speech. It was just honest and forthright, and just you look like the dude looked like, he might have been a little nervous, but he knew what he was doing, knew what he was talking about. Said the right things. We heard the right things. Um, I think he definitely knows where to build the team. That's the offensive line. So, with that being said, let's see who he picks as his coach. I know there's a lot of rumors going out there. We know that there's a couple candidates that he's interested in. He touched on that. He said he needs the coach to be lockstep, the entire building to be on his page, and the entire top to bottom staff, coaching staff, all need to be on his page. And the message got to be the same, and they'll evaluate the roster. That's what we knew was coming in, but he even said it too. There's a timeline for all of this. They're going to have to move swiftly, but this is a good thing. He's already scouted most of the people in the draft up into the fourth round. So I know there's going to be a lot of turnover. This year is probably not the year for turnover. You'll probably see turnover coming throughout the season, and then probably more so next season when he can fully get established. Remember, he's been here. The off season is starting for most teams. They're gathering information, getting their scouts ready, setting up Senior Bowl preparations. So these things are crucial, and a um, to have a GM ready to go and a coach ready to go would be great. Obviously, they're going to take their time with it, and make sure they evaluate it. Could have a coach by this weekend, which would be adequate or ideal for them then to go down to the Senior Bowl. I'm excited for where the direction of this team is headed. Every interview this guy has been on, he just gets more interesting and more of what the Giant fan base has been looking for and clamoring for. He knows the offensive line has been a problem. He's going to reevaluate the situation. Dan Jones, Barkley, they're all safe for now. Remember, again, he is a GM. So half of it's sales pitch, half of it's truth, right? He's got to sell the fan base on something, and he's also got to sell the players on something so they don't come in and already resent him. So he said it and underlined this. Me and the coaching staff are going to make the evaluations necessary going forward to put this roster together. That is key because behind closed doors, they may not like what Daniel Jones brings and the limitations in his game. Not saying they're not going to keep him because right now he's under contract, and he even said they're in salary cap, trouble. So if that's the case, you're not going to get rid of a lot of players that are on this roster if you don't need to. Plus, he wants to sign a lot of his players. I hope he is not trying to sign some of these Giant players because some of them got to go. Some of them got to go. Listen, if Will Hernandez, you need a guard. Don't just sign him because you need a guard. Bring in more talent. So I'm sure they'll evaluate the roster. Let's find out who the other coaches are with the guy who gets hired, because that'll probably dictate how some of the free agents are going to go. For example, if it's Dayball, you might get a couple Buffalo Bills players in here. If he brings in Wink Martindale, you may get a couple of Ravens players in here. So there's a lot that's going to be going on in the next few weeks. He's already kind of ready to go for the draft. He's already ready to go to Senior Bowl. They're trying to get everything in line. This is going to be great. This is going to be a great offseason. This guy looks like he's fun. He already took on the New York media. He didn't come out here and give a rah-rah speech, which I think was necessary. And he said that him and Steve Tisch and John Mara, two guys, not three, no Chris Mara, no anybody else, those three guys, Joe Shane, Joe Shane, John Mara, and Steve Tisch are all going to be making the head coaching decisions. And he even said that they're all, if they're butting heads, they're going to talk it out, which is what you need. And he said the communication, and John Mara said the communication with the organization is going to be changing for the better. So there's a lot of stuff we did not find out, know, or bring up. There was something was brought up in a podcast that was interesting. So a reporter who is a beat writer has a podcast, and he went out to, I think it was a Senior Bowl. He said the Giants staff was half of them were sitting on one side, and like Mark Ross and a few other scouts were sitting on the other. And it's like, and that was the only team to have two contingencies of people down. Now most people could say that, it's evaluation and has more set of eyes. Apparently, it was they had differing views. So there's been a lot of dissension amongst the ranks, and hopefully this will streamline it. There is a possibility that Joe Shane is bringing an assistant GM. Probably not, maybe not right now, or maybe towards the latter or the middle part of the free agency period. The off-season period. He also is keeping Kevin Abrams, which is interesting. Um, being that he's the sole guy over here and he can't pluck too many players, especially while they're in off-season mode. Um, during the season, you probably can get rid of scouts and things like that. After the, draft is over, you can get rid of scouts and everything like that. But here, I feel, this is a good thing to know. Kevin Abrams will have some history with these players and the contracts that he, helped put together, so he can say, hey, listen, maybe we get some money here, maybe we get some money here. Hey, there's a loophole in this guy's contract here. We can acquire money. So having Kevin Abrams on is good. Nobody. I don't think people disliked Kevin Abrams. I think they were more like, let's not have Kevin Abrams, even though he may be a good fit as GM. Let's just have somebody outside the organization come in. But it's going to be a blended transition right now, and then I think you'll see as the season goes on, as Joe Schoen goes on, you'll see less and less of the Giants, ex-Giant staff and office personnel, and you'll see more of a Joe Schoen staff. But for this year, fans, set your expectations wherever you want. I mean, you can. It's your, your dream, your goal, whatever you want. But for me, I'm not setting them too high. 6 to 8 wins. Just give me that out the gate. If you luck into 9 or 10, great. But just give me 6 to 8 with the growth. Like he even said, someone asked Joe Schoen about playoffs. Don't expect. He was like, basically, it was Pat Leonard. Pat Leonard. Everybody knows Pat Leonard. He tends to stir the pot a little bit. It's like, come on, man. You ask that question, like, give me a break. Give me a break. Like, the guy just got on the job. You want expectations of the playoffs. He don't even have a coach yet. He didn't even get the time to evaluate the roster, ask about playoffs. These are the type of things that I mean. He said that there is no playoff mandate, that there's just, evaluation season. And I don't disagree with him. And Giant fans, this is going to be fun. Hope you enjoyed this press conference. There'll be more to come in the next couple weeks, coming days, as they get a coach, as they fill out their coaching staff. I'm not going to speculate on rumors, but I will hypothesize about certain guys. But, if they bring in, like I said, Daboll, expect some Buffalo Bills guys to come in. If they get Wink Martindale as their head coach, which there are rumors, don't know if they're confirmed or denied, but expect some Ravens guys in here to kind of teach the lingo of what's going on. But it should be fun. Dan Jones, Barkley, another year, probably at least of them, so it should be fun. Different set of eyes, and away we go.